Hi there, it's Sue at Miller's Laboratory. Thanks for joining me. I hope you're doing well today. Today I'm going to be doing Roxy's Weekly Challenge, week number 8. I know I'm a little bit behind, but I am going to try to get caught up this weekend. What this weekly challenge was using playing cards to make little journal spots. So this is a very, very tiny little deck of cards that I have that is really cute. It's got beautiful illustrations. You know, I think even that side, that is pretty. And the other side of the card is pretty too. So I'm going to open this up. They're just not the most practical thing because they're so tiny. So that's what's so great about this idea. So you open it up and see the pretty birds there. That's actually why I bought the cards to begin with. And then inside there is this nice old paper from an old book that opens up, and you can journal in there. You can journal on this side, you can journal on this side, and fold it all back up, and you just have this nice little tiny little thing to tuck into your book, into a pocket. So I pulled a few other cards here. These are from a Rook game, and I like the numbers. And you know, if you were going for some sort of a spooky or Halloween, or if you're into that kind of thing, these could be really cool just as they are. I have these really pretty ones here too, and I bought these also for the pretty illustrations. This is from a card game called Five Crowns. This is not necessarily very old, but I really liked these, and I thought that would make a pretty little book, kind of like the one I just showed you, the smaller one. So let's make that one together, and we're going to make it very basic. So I pulled out this old sheet of paper from a sketchbook that I have, and I'm going to just cut or tear this down so that it is the right height. I want it to be just enough to cover up all of this purple. I don't really care for that to show too much. So sorry, all you purple fans out there. All right, so I'm going to measure this, which is about 1, 2, 3.5. And so we're going to make this paper just under 3.5 inches wide. And I think I'll just tear it to make things easy. Oh, I can barely do it. My ruler is just long enough to do that. Okay. Just come back a little bit there. Okay. All right. I just chose this paper because it was nice and long, and for the most part, it's plain. So there's lots of space to write here. All right. So I'm going to cover this part up. So what I'm going to do is glue this right into the inside of the book, or it's not a book, it's kind of a book, little booklet, the little card. I'm just going to put glue right on this, and I think I'm just going to use my art glitter glue here so that we have good adhesion, because playing cards are often glossy, shiny, and I don't want the paper to just peel right back off from it. Let's see. I think I want it like this. Okay, so then that covers up my whole purple bit, and then this will be the outside. Okay. All right, so now we're going to fold this back and forth. Actually, no, I'm not going to do it that way. I'm going to go ahead and put the other card on here right next to it, just like that. So we'll go ahead and cover this one up. Come on, there we go. Hope everybody's well. I've been busy doing a lot of other things besides journals. I've been crocheting a bit, and I've been knitting a little bit, and that's kind of taken me away from my books a little bit. But I will never give it up totally. I love doing my books. So, And I do have a couple more videos coming out here too. All right, so now if I were to close my little book, and you can see that kind of is peeling off, so I'm going to go ahead and fold it up so those cards are matching up. And you can see the paper is poking out just a little bit on the edge, but that doesn't matter. Okay. And if I was being really good, I would put this under a book or something so that it would hold it down really good. But I'm just going to go ahead and get this done so you guys can see it. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to fold this back. All of this paper is going to get tucked into the inside of the cards. So we're going to come back this way, and then we're going to come to our crease, and we're going to come, and just a little bit smaller I think would be a good idea. And we'll come back this way, and then this way. Just keep folding back and forth. And then here I'm just going to have a little bit, but that's okay. And I'll show you why. Okay. All right. So if this was our little folded card, then we would open it up, and I'll put a little tab on here, and you can pull it right open and do your journaling inside there. Isn't that cute? Okay. All right. So let me just grab something to make a quick tab. Let's see, we kind of have some blue here, so let's find something with blue. I've got a little scrap of paper here. Let's see. Here we go. All right, I'm just gonna punch a tab right out of this pretty paper. Fold that, and then I'm just going to glue that in there just like that. Isn't that cute? I love that. Okay. I need to refill my glue. It's almost done. In fact, I may have to just pause the video and do that, because that's the kind of thing that will drive me crazy here. All right. Very sweet. Now this one I didn't put the tie on, so you could just leave it that way. It's going to stay closed pretty well, especially if it's tucked into a pocket. But you can also put a little clip on there. Let me grab a paper clip. These are kind of some cool ones. Do that. That'll just clip right on there and hold it closed. And then it would be really cute to tie a little piece of fabric or something on there, wouldn't it? Let's see what I have right here. Let's see. Got some really stubby ones. Let's see here. This is from another project, left over from another project. It's a little bit short, so it's not going to be very fun to try to tie it, but we'll give it a go. Okay. Stick that in there like that. The tie. Yeah, this is, sorry for the fumbling. Being a little bit fussy here. There we go. There. Okay. That's cute. I like that. Okay. So then that would be super cute. It just tucked into a little pocket, don't you think? Okay. Love that one. All right. Okay. Now I'm going to show you a couple of other ones that I've made with cards. This one is from a set of the game Authors. This was Louisa May Alcott here. And so this one, I took the card and I glued this flower on the front, and I used washi tape as the hinge here. And we opened this one up, and we have a similar situation here. But this one, I just used the washi tape again and glued the paper only on this side. because I didn't mind this. And again, you could make a little pocket or belly band there if you wanted to, but that one is just, again, this is from an old Reader's Digest. I like to use old book page when I can. I'm just gonna set that one aside here. This one is made from a more regular deck of cards. I liked the pretty sort of frame that it made, and so I glued that little label on the front, and I glued a label on the back. And what I did with the playing cards here is I covered them with some gold striped tissue paper. So I covered it. It's covered on the inside, and it wraps over on this one side to make like a little bit of a spine. And then when you open this one up, we have, they're stuck together. Okay, hang on. Okay, we have one set over here of papers, and we have another set over here. We have two, and then you can see in the middle I used this label just to make my hinge. I thought that was cute. So this one's got two papers, one on each side. Then this one is made from something I picked up somewhere. These are like souvenir little cards that look like little mini postcards from Greenfield Village. They cute. And yeah, you would buy this and you would mail it to someone like a souvenir. So I took two of those and I put little stamps on them, front and back. And then I used the same sort of idea here with the paper clip with a little bit of fabric tied on. And then this one I open up, and then I open the paper up this way. So it kind of gives you this big place to write. And then you can fold it back up and clip it closed and stick it in your pocket. Okay, so those are some of my other ideas with cards. While I was working with these, I had another idea, and that was to use calling cards, like Victorian calling cards. And I don't have any of those. So I printed these from the Graphics Fairy, and these are just from the free site. I printed like pairs of them. Okay, so I thought these two went really nicely together, the blue ones, and then these. And they're really pretty, and they have quite a few to choose from. I just printed them on cardstock, and then I printed like just some, an image of kind of stained paper that I have on the back too, so that they just look like an old card. And then I did do some distressing on these. You can kind of see I wear the corners down a little bit, and I'm going to go grab my nail file and I'll just show you how I do that really quick. All right, so this one is distressed and this one is not. So what I do is I take my metal nail file and I go at the corner, and I'm kind of going back and forth, up and down, because I want that corner to bend and get worn and kind of the layers kind of peel apart a little bit, because that's what would happen to a card if it got worn. And I just go along the edges a little bit to soften them, because cut edges are so hard looking and sharp, and I want them a little softer. And that's all I do. I don't ink my edges, but you certainly can if you like that look. I just don't want to deal with that, and I think it looks fine without it. I actually find that if I ever want to make something look a little bit worn and handled a lot, a pencil works really well too. Just a regular pencil. I'll show you that. I didn't do much of that on these, but I will show you what I would do. So, and if you want, you can kind of go angle that so you're using that edge a little bit if you want to kind of nick it up a little bit and make it look a little bit more rugged along the edge. Okay, all right. So you just take a pencil, like a normal number 2 pencil, really lightly, and just kind of color a little bit, like that. And then I rub it with my finger and smear it. And it just makes it look a little bit dirty. And I think sometimes that's more authentic looking than the brown ink. So that's just a little tip if you ever want to try that. Okay. All right. So we have these little pairs of cards. And I think I'm going to use, I love these. I think they're so pretty. So let's make a vertical one out of these that will open like this. And I think what I'm going to do here is use some kind of a label as the hinge on the inside. So I'm going to look here and see what I have that will be the right size. That's not bad. I don't love it. Let's see what else I've got. Oh, these would be fun too. Look what else I found here. I made these, but these are like little music flashcards. Those would make really cute little playing cards. They would make cute. You could use these for this project too, is what I'm trying to say. Got this pretty pink one, and I think I'll try that. If I put it on there like that, like this, we're just going to glue it in the middle, and it will be, is that what I want? Yeah. But I do need to put my paper in there. So let's use this. This is embroidery pattern paper. I always buy this when I see it in the thrift stores or the antique stores. I think it is so pretty, and it has an antique-y look to it. I just love it. I'm just going to mark that right there. Okay. And I'm just going to cut this because it seems like the easiest solution at the moment. I'm just going to cut way down. I probably won't use all of this, but we'll cut ourselves a nice generous piece. Okay. All right. So, where'd the other card go? Oh, here it is. Okay. All right. So, I think I'm going to put this on the bottom one. We're just going to glue it on like this. And I think I'm going to keep the red side up, and I don't really want that. So we're going to start here. I'm just going to glue that down. Okay. I'm not sure this is... on like that. Okay. All right. And I did the same thing. I got a little glue here, but that's all right. We'll let that get good and dry before we fold it up and have trouble. Okay. All right. Now we're going to have this come down like this. So I'm going to just put this pretty label here. Let's use this guy. Sorry, you can't see me. Here we go. Okay. Putting some glue on this. Okay. And then I am lining these up where I want them to be, and I'm just making a little bit of space in there. Not a lot, just a little bit. And then I'm just going to put that right there like that. Just because that's where it wound up. And I think that will be great. Okay. All right. Then we're just going to fold this back and forth, just like we did before. And I'm going to try to keep this straight edge. This edge of the paper is straight, and we'll just try to use that as our guide. Because the part that I cut over here, I don't think I cut it real straight, and I might have to do a little fixing. Okay. What I should have done was done a ribbon on this one so I could show you how to do that. It's not hard, but you guys are smart. You can probably figure that out. I'm just going to go ahead and fold this all up. I may decide that I don't want all of it in there, but there. There we have it. It's just a cute little thing. So you'd have this, and you could just tie a ribbon around it too. You'd open it up and then pull this all out, and you can write in there. Okay, so let's see here. Let's do one more, and I will definitely do a ribbon on this one so you can see how I did that. You could put the ribbon coming out right here, or you can put it coming out up here. It doesn't matter. You can do it whichever way you want. I'm just looking to see if maybe I can stick it under there. But I'm not going to try. We'll figure something else out for that one. All right, let's use maybe these. These are not quite the same width, but that really doesn't bother me. I don't really care. I would use this width. I like these two. Let's use these, I think. All right. And maybe we'll do something different and we'll have this one open this way, right? Okay. All right. So if I want to do ribbon, and I am going to just grab some here, we could have it tie across this way, or we could have it tie across this way. And I think just to be different, I'm going to have it go this way. So what we're going to need is 2 lengths of ribbon so that you can wrap them around and tie. So it's got to go, this is just some pretty real thin, almost like silk ribbon that I found. Okay. And you want to make sure you have enough to go across the card and then tie a bow. So we're going to give ourselves a good generous amount, and then I'm going to double it over because we'll trim it down later after we tie the bow. Okay, so I know this looks like way too much, and it is, but we're going to just work with it this way for now. Okay, and then you can use the front or the back, it doesn't matter, but you're going to glue it right on here so that when you glue your paper down over the top, it's covered up. Okay. All right. So let's put a good amount of glue here. And I'm also going to put some glue, if you can see, in between the 2 layers of ribbon. So they're just like one unit. Glue, stick those together, and then stick them down on here in the middle. Okay. So those are going to stick out at the folded edge, and then you can come around with them. You'll see when I get it all done. All right. Now we need to find some paper to go in there and figure out what we want to use for that. I do have this pretty book page, but it's not really very big. It's not much wider than the card, and that would be pointless to do that. But what we could do is we could double it. So I'm going to figure out the width I need here. Okay, which is this. And then we're going to just do it again. So we're going to fold it right here. So I'm getting 2 lengths of this. Okay. I don't care if it's not perfect. I like it if it's not perfect, actually. All right, so we want to take this off. And it's a nice little scrap we'll save for something else. And then we have this. Okay. And what we're going to do is we're going to just hinge these together. We're going to glue them together so that they make a longer piece of paper. Okay. All right, here we go. I'm just going to kind of line this up on the lines of my mat to make sure that I've glued it fairly straight. So I don't want I don't want them to be at an angle to each other. I want them to go straight across. That's pretty good. Okay, all right, okay. So now, I think what I'm going to do with this one is, see how I've got the ribbon going to the outside? I'm going to go ahead and lay this down. And I'm going to just put something on here to hinge it, because you can write on this easily. There's no reason you can't. So I don't need to cover that up at all. So I don't need to layer my paper all the way across, is what I'm saying. So we're going to put something here to make a hinge, and it can be anything. It could be a piece of fabric. It could be a piece of paper. It could be a label. So I'm going to look for something again here. Just put on there real quick. I have this little scrap of pink that I thought would be nice. So I'm going to tear it, both sides. Although this side isn't going to show because it's going to get covered up. And we're just going to come across about that far. Only needs to be, look at it, it's got my handwriting on the other side. It doesn't matter. It won't show. Okay. And we're just going to glue that on like that as our hinge. I I don't care if the numbers show. What do I care? Okay. All right. Like that. Okay. And then we're going to glue this on here like this. And we're just going to do the same thing, fold back and forth. And this worked out well because I didn't want this to be actually right on a fold because I figured it would cause a problem. So we avoided that nicely. There's that. Good. Okay, so we'll glue that down. And there we are. Okay. So we can do the same thing. We'll put a little tab on here. I'm not going to do that right now. And then look at all that nice space that you have to write. And then this is feeling pretty dry, so I'm going to go ahead and fold it. And then you can see that you've got two ribbons here. So I'm just going to be able to pull them across the back and the front and tie them at the other side. And then it will hold the whole thing closed. So here's another little tip for you for tying things closed. This is a small thing, but I find that if you tie it on the edge so that you're actually up here, your ribbon will kind of stay put for you while you do the rest of the bow. I'm not sure why that is, but it just makes it a little bit easier to tie the bow. Otherwise, you need to go and find someone to help you hold it, right? And who has time for that? All right. So then now I can just trim those ribbons. And I'm not going to trim them too much because I want to make sure I have enough to easily tie the ribbon again. All right, so there's that one. All right, so that's it for today. Thanks for joining me. I'm glad you came along. Have a wonderful day. Bye.